Hello guys, it's Sunday evening. We decided to do a front porch sitting. Discuss a few things. Got anything you want to start out with?
Sky's pretty.
It's kind of a reddish color tonight.
What is it? Red at night, sailor's delight. Red in the morning, sailor's white.
Yeah, well, that's the rhyme they made out of it anyway. Not exactly biblical, but it's close.
Oh no.
You'd have to look it up again. Been a few months since I read that. Been a while. I did have something on my mind though. Been meaning to discuss. I've recently discussed it with Cindy, but I've been watching YouTube channels about homesteaders and about preppers, and they've talked about putting food up, and reserving things, putting back a reserve, maybe some of them in 5 years. And I kind of understand that. I kind of like the idea of having reserve. I like putting food up in the garden. Our little gardens do really well. We do a lot of canning, a lot of freezing. But they talked about food shortages and how much they had, how long it would last, and I never really evaluated exactly what we put up. I paid more attention this year since I've watched them. But I got to thinking about after watching 2 or 3 rounds the other day that if you had food put up and say something did happen that shut down the whole money system and shut down the stores, and you had food but some of the other people around you did not. Who are you going to share with? Who knows what you got at your house? Who are you willing to give to and who you're not willing to give to? I guess you can say who's your inner circle. Because if there's no money and the money system's not working like they're talking about, and life changing is the way we know it, food's going to become more valuable than gold. You're going to be sitting on it. I think it could actually become a dangerous thing. Which leads to another question: if you're going to defend it, who are you going to defend it from? How far are you willing to take it? No, I don't think there's any definite problem right now. There's a whole lot of people in this world, and we're all dependent on modern things and stores, and we don't, but we grow quite a bit. But a lot of people depend on the stores, depend on the industry and all the companies that make their food and to make it available.
It's kind of like what we was talking about at Mama's today. This younger generation doesn't know how to do all this stuff because it's never has. And they're slowly losing that knowledge. It's slowly getting to the point where knowing how to grow the food is rare. And bless him, Lord, bless him. And when it gets to the point when there's not people that know how to do it, then they're going to be mean and they're going to take it'll become survival of the fittest kind of thing. And it'll be people thinking about themselves first. And we're slowly getting to that mindset. Every year it seems like, or every generation seems like to be a little more me. Kind of reminds me of Joyce Meyer's little, I was watching one of her clips one day, and she calls it her "What About Me" robot. We live in a society where people's like, "What about me? What about me?" And that's where it is. I mean, it's just when they lose the knowledge, it'll be when if we could just continue teaching the younger generations to grow their own food and how to work the ground, it wouldn't be as bad. But so many of them don't want to take the time to learn.
I was just thinking about the commercial about the Snickers bar. how they change the character of the person, how they look different, till they eat the Snickers and they're back to their normal self. People get hungry, they change. They get desperate. I ain't saying that ever happened, but it's just something to think about. I think you need to be mentally prepared as much as these people are talking about physically prepared. No, I don't expect the end of the world anytime soon, but being prepared also is good for, like we talked about the other day, about if you lose your job or somebody gets sick and can't go to work or something happens, you can't afford groceries. It's good to have a reserve. It's good to have food put up, supplies. I don't know, it's one of those things that goes through your mind. If you have a comment about it or like to make a comment about it, feel free to. I'd like to hear what other people think about it. We do put things back because the garden does produce good. We don't have a 5-year supply. Not
We
sure
might
what
make it through the winter.
I don't know exactly how much we got or how long it would last, but we have a good reserve. It take a little while to go hungry anyway. As much stuff as we plant in the summertime and the wintertime and the spring and the fall, there's usually something in the garden. So. Which leads us to another good conversation. I tried to make a video yesterday about gardening. I did make a video, I guess you could say.
You deleted it though.
As I cleaned off the camera to make this video, I was going through and I was supposed to hit no, and apparently I hit yes, and the camera deleted all the videos on the camera. So everything we had saved on the camera's gone. So I guess my video about gardening will start again in the morning, and I'll pick up somewhere in the middle where I left off and try to explain what it looked like beforehand.
Did you delete my vlog from earlier?
I actually saved it on the computer. I just erased mine somehow.
For you.
Oh well. But we will.
How you get a do-over?
Yeah, we will try to have a garden video tomorrow. We got fussed on today.
No.
I got fussed on.
Didn't get fussed on. He just wanted to know when he was going to get another gardening video because he wanted to see a gardening video.
He told me he turned on to my channel and was looking for a garden video, and all they could see was Cindy. He said it was about time for me to put a gardening video back on there. We had something else to look at. He liked her videos, but he was tired of her yakking more or less.
He wants to learn more about how you garden so he can garden.
On my redneck tips.
Well, you know, Daddy gave us a few ideas today on some things to do with videoing.
Yeah.
On little techniques that people don't think about no more.
Old-timey stuff.
That's old school stuff. That's what I'm talking about, though, you know?
There's wisdom in old people, though.
If we do things the way, now we don't have to go all the way back to the Stone Age, but if we do a few things like they used to do back in the day, we can still share the knowledge.
We do. We build our furniture. We build things for our home, like our screen door we made a video about.
I don't sew, though.
I
If
don't
I sewed,
either.
we'd be in bad shape. We'd be making our own clothes then.
We
I
do-
don't know, material's expensive.
We do some woodworking around here. We do actually build a few things. We should show some of the stuff we built for the church, but
That belongs to the church.
I think it would be neat, some of the things we pulled the rabbit out of the hat several times on them. They never know what to expect anymore when they ask for something.
Gotta get around and finish the Ark of the Covenant.
The old saying, be careful what you ask for because you just might get it.
Our pastor learned that. And I think he's caught on.
Maybe.
He knows if he mentions it, it might just suddenly appear.
If
Well, then again,
it's
he's
where we
not,
can
still
do it,
hadn't
yeah.
finished the Ark of the Covenant, so he may not be too far on that.
yeah, I need to finish that.
It's about, what, halfway?
Yeah, I'm stuck on the cherubims. I've got them built, but I just ain't happy with them yet.
That's the hardest part, the mercy seat.
I ain't worried about the seat as much as I am the cherubim that hangs over it, though. I've got them built, and I've looked at them, and there's something I just don't like about it yet. I don't know. The Lord just hasn't revealed what I need to know about it yet, I guess.
They get a little bit of sheet metal, gold sheet metal put on it when we're done.
And we always tell them we build something, I guess, out of wood. We build something for the church. They're like, where in the world did you come up with that with? Downloaded it from the Lord. So the way I can explain it.
Most of the plans come from.
They don't like that answer. They want something you can look up online or something you can find in a book or.
Yeah, they just have to be in our brain at 2 in the morning when God wakes us up with a picture.
I never did tell my pastor that in the middle of one of his sermons I got one of my best ideas for something I built for him, but I didn't figure he'd appreciate that.
Oh, you just did. He'll probably watch a video and you find out.
He might. He might be happy to see my face on the woman.
Oh. We're not talking gardening.
Bugs are driving me crazy.
Because you're sitting next to the light.
I know, I'm out of the. It's supposed to be a bug zapper light. I hadn't heard it zap in a long time.
It's still got the zap power up there, I see it.
Yeah, they just don't like it. They don't go into the light.
Oh, man.
I guess I could tell them about Friday. 'Cause I'm,
The near miss?
yeah. For the ones that don't know me, I am a school bus driver. I have a route, plus I have a transport run too. Friday afternoon I was transporting students from, we've got 2 towns in this county, and I run them from one town to the other in the morning and then back in the afternoon. I was on my way back. Didn't have that many kids with me. It was a pretty good ride. We was getting close to town. There's bad curves right before you get to town, big curves. As I headed in one of the first big curves, I looked and I seen all kinds of people with their hazard lights on, and there was a truck sitting on the opposite side of the road. It was stopped. Of course, I hit the brakes kind of hard because it kind of spooked me. All the kids went screaming and hollering at me for braking right quick.
Throwing them in the floor.
And about the time my foot hit the brake and the bus nosed down, the man in the truck was a delivery man for a tractor company. I won't mention the name. But he was trying to back into a driveway, and he decided he was going to back into my lane as I was meeting him. He took half my lane. Well, I looked at the right-hand side, knowing the road, I've traveled it all my life, there's about a 15-foot drop on the suicide. So I let off the brake, I jerked the wheel on the bus, and I've divided the difference between him and the deep ravine on the right-hand side. Crossed the wake up stupid strips, and rode the brake as I went by him looking at him. Just thanking the Lord we didn't hit him, because I was expecting to push him off in the hole with me, but he stopped, gave me just enough room the bus slid through. That will definitely raise your blood pressure.
And get the kids hollering, why are you throwing this on the floor?
And they wonder why I fuss on them every day about sitting in the seats and staying out of the aisle.
Hey, at least the brakes work.
Yeah, we know the brakes work well, and I won't have to clean the brakes anytime soon on the bus, because I smoked them. When the smoke filled the bus up and you could smell brakes for the next 2 miles, I knew the brakes worked really well, and they was good and clean now. No, I wasn't having good thoughts about the delivery guy that was trying to back his flatbed truck and gooseneck in the middle of my lane while I was coming around a curve.
Should have had somebody flagging for him.
And he had all the cars in the world on the wrong side of the road, but he didn't have nothing on my side. If it bothered him as bad as me, he probably won't do that again.
I'd probably have somebody flag him next time.
It sounded like it took forever, but that was maybe 2 seconds. It was a stomp on the brake, a quick judgment. Praise the Lord, he gave me the right judgment. I let off the brake, turned the steering wheel, stomped the brake again, and just rolled by him. I was close enough. Yeah, I got a really good look at him. I don't think he was enjoying me past him either, but I just thankful we got by each other. Nothing got hit. The mirrors didn't hang, or no kids got thrown to the floor. Of course, they was quiet the rest of the way to the schoolhouse.
I would be too. You know, people don't think about buses and stuff when they do stuff, and I mean, there's been many a times people just pass a school bus. That extra few minutes to stop for a bus can make the difference between whether or not a child gets hurt or not. You've got to be more conscious. I mean, it's time for school. School, everybody knows schools are in session. Be aware of where the schools are and where the school zones are, and be looking for the buses, because they're out there running their routes, trying to do the best they can and take care of the kids. Well, hello. My blind rolled down. I mean, but
You needed that solar shade.
the sun is so hot right now. But I mean, drivers are trying to do their best to take care of a busload of children and safely deliver them home to their parents and their families. And we are just someone, we shouldn't see it as an inconvenience because the bus is stopped. We should be thankful that someone is willing to take the children around and act like, what would I want somebody else to do if that was my kid crossing the street? And I say that, I've been one of them that's got stopped by the bus, and I'm thinking, who in the world is stopping? What in the world is this bus doing out in the middle of the day? And I realized that it was him dropping kids.
She was fussing.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Preschool gets out at 1:30.
As I drove by, she was fussing. I waved right big at her. She was like,
well, I forgot.
Yeah, she was fussing
I
on
was
me.
expecting
Didn't know
it at 2:30, but I don't expect it at 1:30.
that was
It was a pre-K route.
Yeah, the pre-K route. I run that for a while.
But I mean, it is.
Well, life has got busy and people are in a hurry and they don't think anymore.
Yeah.
I ain't saying all the bus drivers make good decisions at times, and there's some iffy marks in our driving too, but we've got to be a lot more careful because we are hauling the most precious cargo.
Yep.
We're held to a high standard.
Very.
When something like that happens, it makes me nervous for the rest of the route. I'm looking around every corner from then on.
Makes you take your foot off the gas every time you go around the curve. We have this one particular place in his route. It's coming and going. There's one particular place where a person pulls out. It's kind of got like a little hill, and
It's a T between
and
two
it's
highways.
a T. Two main highways come together. And people like to come to a rolling stop there and keep going. They don't like to actually stop. And even in our own vehicle, in our personal vehicle, he will take his foot off the gas and put it on the brake when we come by that section. Because 9 out of 10 times when somebody comes up to that T and he's in his bus, they'll pull out in front of him. And so it's got to the point where he even starts putting on the brakes in our personal vehicle in anticipation that somebody's going to pull out there.
That was long.
And it's one of the worst places he has on his route, but you just start anticipating that something's going to go wrong or somebody's going to come along. It's funny. People they just don't think sometimes.
I guess I gotta be patient about my video, huh? My do-over.
Nah.
I gotta wait till tomorrow because I can't do anything about it now that I erased it. So
It's all dark to try to video onions.
coming tomorrow, we're going to do a video over me planting the onions for the fall, and I hope to get the carrots planted. Maybe in the garlic. I'll see what I can get done tomorrow morning.
I got a mold.
It's going to be pretty warm, so I'll probably quit 9, 10 o'clock anyway, depending on what the sun does. It ain't that important to get out there and work in that kind of weather. Try to, especially if I put in the onions I still got left that's are in plants. Seeds I ain't worried about, but I won't put a plant out 10, 11 o'clock. I don't cook it. Supposed to be in the 90s again tomorrow, so. A few more days of hot weather and we're finna get a cold spell. If the hurricane coming in Florida don't change that. There was rain blowing. There was rain pretty much all the way to Tennessee this afternoon, just little waves of it. The closer the hurricane gets, I guess there's always a chance it can blow all the way to Tennessee. I know they have changed their weather before. I'm hoping it will cool off a little bit. I've got 3 rolls of beans that I hadn't put on a handful of beans in a month. Because ever since they got up to maturity, it's been in the 90s and the heat index has been over 100. And we've had a few cool nights lately that's helped it. But I'm ready for it to cool off a little bit and let the beans start growing again. And start canning again. Although somebody's getting tired of the daily haul. We got so much stuff at the house. We're not getting enough to can at one time, but in 2 or 3 evenings we'll get enough to do something with. Like okra and squash, and our squash is coming in. Hopefully zucchini in a day or 2. Got a few little pumpkins. Our carrots are about ready. I pulled a pretty good sized carrot this morning, or last night. I showed it to you this morning. We still got a pretty good garden going, even in the hot, dry weather of August. September is hopefully going to be a little better. It'll be a little cooler. Hopefully we'll get a little rain. Well, I hope y'all have a good Labor Day tomorrow. Have a safe and happy Labor Day. God bless.